Yeah, I've heard word from our preacher friend over there that you lot were doing a sales pitch and piqued my curiosity.
Yes, we saw the people of this waste hungry and lonely, so we offer them knowledge and toys.
Well, I'm always a little interested in either of those things, if you wouldn't mind hitting me with your spiel.
Of course. Of course, I offer some of the greatest azure known to man. I can also offer books on many topics. Offer toys for children and adults alike. I have much. All you wish to do is ask.
And what would you want in return for these things? I get the feeling credits aren't your usual barter.
The machinations of the cities do not suit us. We would offer trade for items. Information, other items, does not matter which.
Well, yeah, I guess I'll take a look at what you got and figure for myself if I got anything worth trading for.
Perfect. Then, what is it you desire?
Well, I'm a mechanic by trade. I suppose any tools that you might have that would help me out in my endeavors.
Tools of trade and commerce to fix the rusted world. One moment.
And with that, you see him reach around behind him, scooping up what he can, and you see the other mutants also coming up to him and starting to dig around before they present several items before him.
I offer you a box of the tools of the trade. Simple in nature, but useful on their own.
It's a box of mini tools, used for refining and small work.
Here I offer you text of the old world. The world, once forgotten, has forgotten such lovely things.
You can see that this is a mechanics book involving some relics of the old world. This would probably give you a bonus on dealing with such things, instead of a negative you would normally get for not even knowing what they were.
That could be useful.
And lastly, I offer this. It is small, but unknown to even us.
It seems to be a globe, with several lines going through it from one circumference to the next, and then split again. Looks sort of like a Rubik's Cube, but round.
Well, a puzzle is certainly good for keeping the mind sharp. And that book could give us some good use, good value for where we're headed.
Of course, these items in trade be, so offer what you wish.
By the way, at this point you can hear what it sounds like a preacher going, "I told you to stay away from the mutants!" But he just seems to be uselessly shouting in the background.
This preacher is actually kinda cute, I like him. It's funny.
you wouldn't like me.
This is what Ruben would be like if he was a preacher.
If I was a preacher.
Yeah, if you were a preacher, you would be like him. I told you not to do that, and then does nothing about it. Just mentions, you shouldn't have done that, goddammit.
Yeah. I mean, it's gotten
Come
to the
with me
point
to the
where
confessional. We'll get this out.
Ruben's like pretty much aware. It's like, Logan's like not the most concerned for his own health, so somebody has to be.
The preacher's just concerned for your spiritual health. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah. When you hang out with the likes of me, the heretical masses, you know, gotta find. I don't know. Is he Christian? Is a form of Christianity disappear that he has? Because he has a cross and everything.
It seems more like the cross is meant to be symbolic in nature, but essentially he seems to follow Christianity. Like, essentially he's just a twisted version, like, oh, God was meant to kill us this day, but you all lived.
Water didn't work the first time, so just like a huge nuclear explosion.
A huge solar wave tried killing you next, and we still lived.
You're really useless at dying. Did you know that?
Okay, I've gone through my inventory. I will offer him the dress that I got from the airplane and a pack of Twinkies.
A pack of Twinkies.
Essentially, as you offer a dress, he goes,
For the dress of the old world, the toy will do.
and he offers you the toy in trade.
Okay.
But as you pull out the Twinkies, he goes,
A rare find of the most delicious delicacies. I will trade the book in twine.
Sounds like a deal to me.
I like this merchant.
He goes, Then the trade is done.
and he like pushes the objects towards you and then offers his hand out to take the Twinkies.
I'll hand them over.
He takes them and goes,
Ah, beautiful relics. The trade is done and a fair indeed. Come to us next time whenever you're in need.
You're a good sword. I like you.
This world thanks you. Not many trust our kind.
You haven't done me any wrong yet.
he gives you a nod. You can see him going over and adjusting the lamp a little bit to dim the light.
And then he flips the birdie to the preacher. See that? Haha! I won him over. Fuck you. One for me. 1-0.
Beware of the storm that comes. It wishes to devour, but you may also watch out for the one that we seek. They are dangerous indeed.
I'll heed that warning. I'll gather the stuff up and head back towards the cars, I guess.
He gives a nod.
Beware the one of psychic power.
He says quietly as you walk away, and he returns to his clan.
Yo, Caleb, there you are. Your dinner's getting cold, man. Grab a chair.
Oh, thank you.
I guess around this time, Ruben's probably finishing up what he was up to. He's just kind of making his way back. Like, like clapping dust off of his equipment and everything like that. And he's like, commoners here. Good people. Not really much different than the people of Austin, if you think about it.
So, I'm not sure how exactly this works, but after doing what you're doing, you know, killing people and I don't know, chopping limbs or getting bloodied and stuff, do you still want to have dinner?
I have to put. It's like Ruben just kind of gives it a moment of thought, and it's like if I start feeling sick in the stomach, better to have something in there rather than without. So, yeah.
Oh, okay then.
starved.
Grab a seat then, Doc, because I made some for you too.
He's kind of like eyeballing it, not really sure what it is, but he's just like shrugs because it's really nice of him to.
Tastes
to
like
give him some
shit,
stuff,
but
and he
it's
just-
filling.
That's exactly the kind of gruel I usually eat, actually. And he just like slurps it down.
I mean, I exaggerate when I say it's shit. It's basic ration packs, but still. You know, can't beat a proper steak.
I remember when I used to be able to eat that.
Don't worry, Doc. Once we make it big, I'm sure you can afford a new stomach or something.
Yeah, it's he kind of like just shrugging. It's like I used to eat well, but the food was delicious. But how would I describe it? It never felt homely. It was not, family dinner was just kind of something that just happened and went. So even though the food nowadays probably doesn't taste as good, it's I guess it's a food prepared by good company tastes best of all, he says. I appreciate it.
Food prepared with love. It's the best spice of all.
I think your vagina's showing a little bit there, Doc. You might want to hide that.
Then Integra punches.
Yeah, he does. She does.
Ow.
Just
What? Wow! Why'd you hit me?
Ruben just kind of eating away, and he doesn't say anything, but he's just kind of like smirking. So, and Ruben kind of turns. I apologize because I was kind of out. What was the name of the old timer that Logan brought over?
Oh, we didn't actually exchange names. We don't
Yeah.
usually do that unless, it's a big deal.
Ruben just kind of just notices him, goes, "Hello."
the old man gives you a nod. He's like, "Good evening, young. Seem like a doctor. Good profession."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can attest to it. He's a good lad.
You can call me Zeke. He understands that most people want names.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Zeke. And he kind of offers his hand over to shake. It's like a friend of. It's like somebody who can. A friend of Logan's is a friend of mine.
He gives you a nod and gives you a handshake back. It's like, it's good to meet somebody who's willing to work with us hunters now and again.
Ruben's like, I'll be honest and say I had some doubts, but Logan is proving to be a good representation of you guys. You have integrity, and I appreciate that.
No, Logan's the mechanic. I'm the hunter.
Did I screw up the name, or are you just memeing me?
He's
I'm just
giving you-
memeing.
You made me double take. I'm like, no,
Gee, Doc, what's the matter with you nowadays? You're getting awfully sentimental lately. You okay?
he's just, he's kind of like looking around. It's like, this place, I'm kind of happy that we found it. It seems like everybody here is downtrodden but hopeful. I guess I'm not used to seeing this kind of positivity out in the waste, is what I'd say.
Listen, Doc, I know you're the type that likes to help people, and that's an admirable quality and all, but don't get too attached. Right now, these people are, well, going through a lot, and the way I see it, I don't see an end to their worries. But we've got our own reasons for being here, so don't get too attached.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, don't mind me if I'm just beside myself for a little bit, but I'm ready to take off when you guys are ready to take off. You don't have to worry about that.
Well, in any case, we'll be staying a while until the storm passes over, so no harm doing what you wanna do until then, so...
That is correct. So, is there anything else you guys wish to do? Or, because if so, well, then we can probably end this session. Because I've got to get going soon.
Yeah, sounds good, I'm getting hungry.
Alright then. So, you guys spend your time here. You guys are currently residing here. The storm is still overhead. The storm is currently quite strong. The wind and rain blowing past the many towers. You can even see some of the weaker towers swaying ever so slightly.
I can turn this so political right now, I feel like memeing.
No meme, no shh. There's no memes here.
One meme, just one.
So, as the storm is there, you can see the old man by your car, since the garage door is open, or since the old man opened it. People were a bit afraid at the time when he did this, but he assured people that the wind was going in the wrong direction anyway, so... And it turns out that, yes, he was correct. The wind isn't coming into the garage.
Oh, don't live that long without picking up a few tricks, you know?
Yes, he is currently looking out over the storm, just seeing bits and pieces of rubble and sign fly past.
By the way, excuse me because it's been a while, but did we ever get his name, or am I just still calling him old man?
One sec. You did call him old man, but he did give you his name. 1 second. I believe it was...
I think, actually not old man, but old timer. I think that was what I was called.
Yes, I believe. 1 second, I gotta bring up my notes. I believe his name was Jacob.
Okay.
There we go. The entirety of the tower is currently in lockdown, of course, apart from the garage where you guys are.
I'm gonna start getting my basic gear together and find an old wash rack or some piece of torn clothing so I can put it on my gun's muzzles, so just in case any, you know, dust or sand gets inside so they don't damage my weapons.
Alright, makes sense.
Ruben just kind of oh, sorry.
No, that's okay, carry on.
I'm saying Ruben just kind of looking at the storm, interested. He this is probably the first time he's been outside of a city during a storm. Are they always this powerful?
In the southern part of the world, they are quite powerful. This is actually a weak storm in comparison. Even on the tail end of it, this is like a rather large storm.
Yeah, but like the wind speed and everything like that isn't as high as they can get.
Yeah.
Probably.
If you go deeper into the storm, then it will be even higher. But you do notice something resonates with you with this storm, especially since you don't know. It's like you can see something the others can't. It's like the rain is glistening a slight bluish tint.
And
He's just kind of... Ruben's just kind of silently mulling it over, hoping that, I guess, interested about the rain sample that we hopefully have back home. Maybe there's something interesting I can learn about this.
I mean, I don't know what you expect to find out, Doc. It's literally, winds and rain and dust and sound everywhere. It's not exactly rocket science.
I'm no meteorologist, but if at any point we could gather and figure out a way to reverse this weather in some time in the distant future, the information we collect nowadays could be the key.
I don't know, that sounds like a bunch of science fiction to me. I prefer sticking to the real stuff and the real world, if you know what I mean.
I mean, I'm sure like 500 years ago, the state of the world would have made a fantastic science fiction novel. I bet they would have even played tabletop role-playing games envisioning that they're in the middle of...
Are we going too meta? Is this too much?
Oh, this is some meta shit, yeah.
I'll cut them off. That they probably would have made a good science fiction novel.
The old timer does turn around and go, well, there are rumors about such storms.
Oh?
Rumors?
Aye. Rumors that say the middle of a planet is boiling. Other rumors say that these storms are created by massive azure beasts.
You say boiling. I think I read about like the Earth's core, mantles and stuff. But are you talking about something different?
That's the only rumor I heard. I don't know what they mean. Some crazy cult.
Who knows, maybe one day they'll invent some kind of super boring machine that's gonna dig to the center of the Earth and fix everything somehow, I don't know. What movie was that, by the way? I forgot its name. Okay, no, stop. Serious, okay. Enough of that. That's enough. Almost.
Yeah, I know it makes me sound like some kind of insane optimist trying to imagine that someday we could fix this, but if somebody more brilliant than I is born in the future and able to figure all this stuff out, maybe the stuff that information I collect can help in some way. I don't know. Just trying to do my part.
It's good to have a positive attitude, Doc, and it's great that you want to help out and stuff. Just make sure that you don't endanger yourself needlessly in the process,
What does it say about me that my first thought was if we could find a way to control the storms, we could find a way to weaponize them?
I'd say you're a very practical man, and honestly, as long as it doesn't hold bullets, I'm not interested.
I don't appreciate your ethics, but I appreciate that you're on my side.
By the way, the old man looks towards you for a minute, Caleb, and goes, corporate?
I was once.
Gee, what
Yeah, I
gave it away?
thought so. Almost instantly, it's like, yes, of course.
Just imagine being able to hold one of these storms for an extended period of time over a city until their resources drain out. It'd be pretty easy to get them to surrender to anything you wanted to demand of them.
Well, sometimes there may be worse things within this storm. After all, such things draw the attention of hunters. He's looking around up in the sky at this point, and you can see like shadowy things flying past.
Have I seen one of those things before?
Personally? Roll me perception.
Wouldn't that be some kind of shit?
Anyone that can see, you can roll to like perception.
Perception's a better stat for me. I don't know why I'm complaining.
Exactly. Don't complain about what I'm giving you, God. Alright, let's see.
If I can find it.
Alright, let's see, Logan. You definitely see something, Logan. You're like, that reminds me of something, but it's Caleb that suddenly remembers. Because you point out those wings, it's kind of like, and then Caleb, you immediately remember those things look exactly like the things that took down the plane.
Ooh, boy.
Since Ruben never saw them up close in the vision, you guys did.
Also, my eyesight's not what it used to be.
That too.
I don't think anything concerning your face and stomach is what it used to be. I'm gonna take my rifle and take a better look through my scopes, and you know, it's probably better than just looking at them with my own eyes.
Mm-hmm. They're very, very fast, but you could see them swaying around within the storm very easily. Their razor-sharp blade-like wings cutting through the storm's air. But at times, you can see them in a swarm-like pattern dive towards locations and dive back up. You see a thickness of dust and clouds, but you could probably gather that they're hunting.
Far as
What are
I'm
you
aware-
spotting over there, Logan?
Far as I'm aware, there's no animals around this area. They must be hunting people that got stuck in the storm.
When we were having those dreams of the plane and being attacked by these things, was there a storm at the time?
That's the interesting thing. There may have been a bit of turbulence from what you remember, but there was never an actual storm. And in fact, the vision that you saw from the watch had them hanging around the plane as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty. If I remember correctly, they just took down the plane in relatively clear skies.
To be
So
fair,
they congregate around the storm, but they may not necessarily stay in it.
Are you saying this out loud?
Yes.
I mean,
Logan.
it'd be a very impressive adaptation for any flying creature to be able to resist the beating of the storm.
to be fair,
Logan, what were you
let's not
saying?
give them too much credit. After all, the plane they took down was a passenger one. It wasn't exactly meant, you know, for aerial combat. So
One moment, let's see. You've never actually seen these before, but roll me Xenology, Logan.
oh yay, my best stat, I'm sure.
Ain't you meant to be a hunter?
Yeah, but it's intelligence based. What do you expect from me?
Let me roll for the old man. Let's see.
Wait, so everybody, why? My apologies, I wasn't following.
If you got Xenology trained, you can roll it
Yes.
to see more about these creatures.
I do.
Jesus Christ!
It's almost like he's a fucking doctor.
He knows more about Azure Beast than you. You're a worthless hunter.
He knows more about Azure Beasts than he does humans.
Yeah,
Well,
Jesus. Okay,
Whoa, bro.
Tell me, how are you rationalizing you knowing about these creatures? Tell me about that.
I'm sorry, have you met Ruben and how
Well-
interested he is in everything?
I mean, we did. I have been spending a length of time, or we. I apologize. Are we still talking about the flying things? Or are we talking
Yeah.
about something
Yeah, yeah.
else?
We're flying things, yeah.
I mean, we stole a bunch of their. I mean, firstly, I read through the dude's log who flew that ship. I read it through very detailed. I recorded everything. I also have a bunch of their parts in my
That's
lab
true,
that I've been
yeah.
analyzing as well. I took like samples from the old corpse that we had back in the bunker. So it's like I did some research on this.
All right, yeah. So you've done some research once you got hold of your thing, gathered up what you could about what random hunters knew. There's no centralized location of knowledge. So, when you discovered these, you found out they only are present within these storms, apart from one simple occasion, and that is when they nest.